passages of time murmur enigmas. From its age-old dunes, Egypt, a domain drenched in amber luminescence and veiled secrets, harbored practices profoundly mystical in character. Each inscription and edifice was more than mere emblem. They were vibrant energies reverberating across the ages. Numerous individuals walked the Egyptian landscapes, perhaps awestruck, yet unaware of the profound realities hidden below. The spiritual life of the people of ancient Egypt transcended a simple creed. It formed a complex mosaic, integrated into the very fabric of their everyday lives. Just as a looking glass shows my own face, their ceremonies reflected the universe itself. It is unfortunate that a great number of people now fail to see the depth of these ancient ways. Absorbed by contemporary life, I often find we overlook the ancient, not perceiving its enduring sagacity. Beneath the pyramids, those magnificent quiet witnesses to an era long gone but forever resonant, I unearth the deep principle of Ma'at. She is not merely a goddess among many, nor just a philosophical notion. She represents the fundamental structure of cosmic harmony, holding the universe together. To many navigating the contemporary world, the true nature of Ma'at is often veiled, its deep vibrations unperceived. Nevertheless, through her eternal insight, Ma'at reveals to me our intricate and close bond with the immense universe. During my fleeting and ephemeral existence, if I were to halt and align my spirit, if I listened carefully to the soft, age-old murmurs of the Nile as it brushes against the dunes of history, I would discern the lessons of Ma'at. Her voice, though faint, resounds through the ages, constantly counseling the values of equilibrium, concord, and justice. Hermes Trismegistus, an individual closely connected to Egypt's mystical knowledge and frequently celebrated as its hidden envoy, made the significant pronouncement, "As above, so below." This profound insight, rich with meaning, indicates that my earthly deeds, cognitions, and purposes reflect the complex dance of the stars and planets within the universe. By adopting and assimilating this understanding, the people of ancient Egypt viewed existence not just as a transient phase, limited by temporal and material constraints. Rather, they perceived it as an immense broad mirroring of the celestial sphere, where each pulse of life resonated with the glimmer of a distant sun. Their sanctuaries, ascending grandly on the skyline, were not simply edifices of rock shaped by mortal skill. They existed and continue to exist as vital representations of celestial harmony, linking the earthly plane with the sacred and inviting the star patterns to touch our world. The ceremonies enacted were more than simple rites. They were harmonious ballets performed in concert with the cosmos, every movement vibrating with universal forces. Osiris, deity of the netherworld, and Isis, symbol of enchantment and maternity, hold pivotal positions in the spiritual framework of Egypt. Their frequently narrated story is not just a legend but a parable revealing insights into existence, demise, and regeneration. The mysterious domain of the hereafter, with its concealed enigmas, has baffled and fascinated innumerable spirits across time. However, for the sagacious inhabitants of ancient Egypt, whose perspective on life extended beyond ordinary human lifespans, demise was not a final closure. Rather, they saw it as an ongoing process, a developing episode in the timeless choreography of being. The venerated Book of the Dead, frequently misconstrued as solely a mortuary script or a collection of arcane rites, serves as evidence of this profound and complex comprehension. To those unfamiliar, it might initially appear as a convoluted grimoire, thick with carved symbols and holy recitations. Yet if I explore its contents with a keen perception and a receptive spirit, it gradually discloses deep revelations, verities, and knowledge concerning the spirit's metamorphic passage and its experiences past the shroud of material existence. The Pharaohs, honored not just as sovereigns but as manifestations of the divine, adopted the very nature of their deities. Their elaborate and magnificent sepulchres are more than final abodes. They are gateways, passages that lead through the intricate dimensions beyond. The exact geometrical positioning of the pyramids is not a result of happenstance. It is a deliberate attunement with universal power. Hermes, in his enduring sagacity, once stated that utterances in their fundamental nature possess an everlasting vibration, echoing down the passages of temporality and being. Analogously, the chants and sacred spells called forth by the priests of ancient Egypt were not simply auditory articulations. They were infused with metamorphic energies that resounded throughout the core structure of the universe. Their mode of communication went beyond the limits of simple spoken sounds. It was inherently energetic, harmonizing with the rhythm of creation. Each sacred song they intoned, every holy line they pronounced functioned as an arcane conduit, linking the earthly domain with the spiritual. As I commenced the exploration of the puzzling hieroglyphs, this verity becomes deeply apparent. Every sculpted sign, each inscribed depiction acts as a cipher, a radiant cipher that, once comprehended, opens portals to dimensions and realities surpassing my direct material grasp, providing peeks into the immensity of being. Nevertheless, amidst the dissonance of the contemporary era, I might ask myself how this age-old knowledge is relevant. The tenets of Ma'at, equilibrium and verity, are not confined by epochs. They call to me even in this age, pressing for a life in concord with the natural world. The ancient ceremonies, though appearing remote, illuminate the fundamental linkage of all entities. I consider the Sphinx, impassive and inscrutable, staring perpetually towards the distant line where sky meets earth. It serves as a guardian of secrets. Its enigmas are not mere conundrums but deep contemplations on life itself. As I unravel its narratives, disclosures come to light, disclosures indicating that my own being is complexly interwoven with the universe. A particular forward-thinking pharaoh, notable in the records of time, initiated a significant change by venerating Arton, the gleaming solar orb. This changeover was more than a shallow modification in the patterns of worship. It represented a deep recognition, a respectful salute to the vital throbbing power radiating from our star. This immense heavenly body was perceived not just as a celestial object charting its course through the heavens, but as a deep spiritual mentor, a lighthouse of universal insight. Its emanations did more than simply drench the planet in brightness. They penetrated profoundly, lighting up the concealed corners of my internal world, dispelling darkness and enhancing my comprehension of both the material and the spiritual. When I explore deeply into the abundant fabric of ancient Egyptian spiritual thought, what I find is not merely a collection of legends, deities, and humans, Instead, I uncover an eternal complex dance in which the spirit, the cosmos, and all of time proceed in harmony, their movements defining the cadence of life. As I, with my fleeting steps, traverse the temporary pathways of my present life, the utterances of those from long ago appear to resound over the dunes of history. They summon with soft persistence, urging me not just to tread the ground but to ascend, acknowledging and accepting the hidden sacredness that throbs both at my center and in the immense space surrounding me. The pyramids, serving as more than grand sepulchres, are focal points of energy. They direct forces that are age-old and deep. By contemplating their fundamental nature, I link not only with the past age, but also with universal verities. Verities that murmur the unending melody of being, equilibrium, and change. Every remnant, each object handed down to me by this esteemed culture is not merely a sleeping fragment of the past. Rather, inside their apparently quiet shapes they throb, overflowing with tales, myths, and insights. These accounts, kept safe through eons, are keen, yearning to be perceived, understood, and profoundly accepted. As I, a traveler in this contemporary age, investigate and lose myself in these age-old stories, a significant transformation unfolds in my awareness. It rouses an understanding, a deep moment of clarity that I am and always have been, woven into a splendid universal choreography, a performance whose initial cadences may have originated in the core of ancient Egypt, yet it persists in resounding, vibrating, and surpassing limits throughout the limitless stretch of all time. Therefore, as I walk through the world in these times, I will recall the lessons of the Nile. I will acknowledge that the enigmas of ancient Egypt are not simply stories from antiquity, but timeless verities. I shall allow these verities to direct me, enlighten me, and uplift me. For in grasping them, I decode not only